Come to the studio, guys. You can get a GSL coin for coming here. You get another coin if you make a sign, and we get a shot of you on camera, which obviously if you make a sign, we'll just get a shot of you.
And by the way, Asus, as you can see, sponsoring the GSL.
Yeah, thank you, Asus.
Turns out that they are the best.
They are the greatest.
Because they are sponsoring the greatest show on Earth.
Yeah. So, I say this all the time, but I, believe it or not, get asked this weekly on Twitter. Entry is completely free. Come down, whether it's here, you know, day one of Code S or finals. It's totally worth it. We're in a great part of Seoul, in the Gangnam area at Samsung Station Exit 2.
That's right. You can even get a headset to listen to the English cast.
Yeah, you can hear us.
Or you can just take in the Korean experience
or
and
you
listen
can,
to them.
You can put in earplugs and just not hear anything at all. The choice is yours, you know?
Absolutely.
So definitely come check it out. And there's a lot of fun places to go to before and after the games here at our studio. We're right next to the big COEX Mall. And we're also not far from Gangnam Station, which is a great place to get dinner and drinks, stuff like that. So, our next match is going to be Effort against SOS. The winner here is going to be the first to move on to the round of 16.
That's right. It's an amazing match. It's a fantastic match. Effort played just godly, and SOS showed that he is not... I mean, you're going to catch him maybe once, but he catches on really quickly as to what's going on. He realizes that both these Zergs today are kind of blind countering the current meta. So he's going to go ahead and, you know, he's going to stop them from doing that. He's going to change his strategies on the fly, because this is what this guy can do. He's one of the smartest Protosses that there is.
And you have to keep in mind how incredibly important and adaptive of a player he is. That's why he's done so well, as he prepares well for a best of 3, a best of 5, a best of 7. He can go in there with a plan, and if he sees his opponent is starting to play a certain way, he will mix it up to respond to that. And that's why it's not even just in the current meta that you have to be adapting to. For instance, that's what Shine did in that last game. It's the way your opponent's been playing from that first game to that third game here. In something like this round 32 in the GSL Code S.
You know what? Doing the same really great strategies time and time again, over and over and over, and executing them amazingly, is how you become an amazing player.
Yes.
But how you become an actual world champion, like maybe best Protoss in the world. Like, you can't say that SOS is not the best Protoss in the world, I think. You can't just say that, right? Like, there's always the argument for it, is what he does, which is something completely different. Like, some of the stuff he's done today may not be used again. He's using what he needs to use to win the game, to win that specific game, because here and now is what matters.
SOS won by adapting in our previous best of 3, but our first best of 3, Effort won with tactics and control.
That's right.
And, you know, these are two very different ways to win. And it doesn't necessarily mean that these guys are going to be utilizing those factors here in this best of 3, but it is important to know two very different beasts, winning with tactics versus winning with reactive planning.
No doubt.
And I'm not talking about reactive planning in a single game. I mean in a series, which is a completely different thing than simply in one game. You're like, oh, whoops, he's doing this. Okay, let's see what I can come up with.
It's like he used game 1 and 2 to scout.
Win game 3.
Yeah, exactly. He took in all the information. He calculated what Shine is likely to do and how he can change his playstyle. He didn't come in today thinking on Deadwing, I'm going to wall in at the ramp. I guarantee you that was not his original thought.
You're 100% right. He reacted to what he saw, and it worked out.
All right.
Effort and SOS here.
This is a match to tell your friends about. Seriously, get out there on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Team Liquid, whatever. Let people know this match is about to happen. This is going to be fantastic. They have both played amazingly so far today. It's really hard to predict how this one's going to go.
I'm actually leaning towards Effort, but SOS never fails to surprise me. Map 1 is going to be merry-go-round. The winner is the first person to survive round of 32 and move on to the round of 16.
big weight off your back for sure. Both these guys want to get really deep. SOS, of course, he's done very well in GSLs in the past. Very, very well. No victory yet, though, for him, right?
That's true.
He's had like a top 4. He got 2nd place in the Season 1 WCS Finals of last year, which that tournament doesn't exist anymore, but like he's gotten very close in GSL.
You know, there's a lot on the line here with GSL. This is the longest standing major StarCraft II league.
And it's by far the best one, too.
Yeah, so you got to think, you know, really, before you end your StarCraft II career, you want to make sure that you win a Code S.
Oh,
one of these guys. I mean, you can win a lot of money, you can go all over the world and do that, but this is another level here.
Yeah. If you win here, you are legit.
Big feather in your cap.
Yeah.
We do not have both players in the game yet. I'm not sure what we're waiting on here, but as soon as they are ready, we will get this going.
Yeah. Hopefully pretty soon. Well, anyways, you know, effort. This is something I've been like kind of saying pretty publicly since that game where CJ pulled him out as the ace against Jin Air to beat Maru, and he played like basically the best game of the year. He's ready, he's there. His skill is where it needs to be to possibly take down a GSL, and I think he's already shown that against the defending champion, where he's like, hey, look at this, I'm better than you. You know, it's like, well, I mean, can you doubt that this, and this is his worst matchup, can you doubt that this guy absolutely might Royal Road this one?
And when you think of the amount of Brood War experience he's had so many years of planning for tournaments.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. Now, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the delay is here. If we get notified, we will tell you. But for some reason,
looks like they're testing their mice and making sure that their mouse speed is correct and all that.
Pretty important.
Yeah, it's pretty important. Although sometimes when I watch Effort Micro, I think he's doing it with his mind and not with a mouse.
He's doing it with his mind.
Yeah.
We get a shot of him in game and he plays like this, like ah. Well, we have some time to kill because there's some mouse problem.
Yeah, I guess so.
How are you doing, Artosis?
I'm doing like so well right now, man. I'm really excited about this. This season, I think, is going to be the best one yet. It's got so many great players. I think so far the games have been just top tier, amazing, awesome. How are you doing, though?
I'm doing great. I think this is a great way to start the season. This is the last season of Code S for this year, so don't miss out on a single game. I'm also excited to go on an airplane with you tomorrow.
That's right.
We have our luggage here in the studio. We go straight from here
to a
taxi, well, to the hotel and to the
airport in the morning, nice and early.
Yep.
Should be a lot of fun. Make sure you watch the Taiwan Open this weekend.
Yes.
Going to be a lot of fun. It's very Zerg heavy, so if you're a Zerg player, it's going to be even better for you.
And, of course, don't miss out on the GSL Code S tomorrow. Watch them both.
Yes, indeed.
We are going to have a further delay here, so just sit tight.
Yeah, someone had to go to the bathroom.
Somebody.
Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom, but they won't stop the game for me.
I think we might be able to take a look at a replay, though, shortly here, depending on how much time we do have. But if that's ready, we'll get that up for you guys. So, you know, what are you thinking here? If, let's say, Effort wins, Effort does move on, but then we have SOS left, we have Shine left.
I think SOS kills whoever comes up.
Even Classic.
Yeah. I really don't think – I actually – my honest opinion, even before we saw the games today, is that Effort and SOS are both better than Classic. And I know that Classic won the last season. That might sound crazy to say, but I actually think that is the case.
It's also funny because Shine being here is really –
he might just kill Classic.
I mean, Shine almost won in the last game. I mean, think about it. SOS – that was a tricky move there by SOS to actually switch up his build. Had SOS maybe played more of a standard game, gone for a quick expand, it's possible Shine could have won there too. So
yeah,
don't count him out either. Also, you know, we talked about Effort winning with, you know, tactics and basically controlling his opponents via the micro and everything
smart
like that.
Builds.
But SOS is pretty tricky. He might end up doing an opener that just beats his opponent.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like in that last game, he chose the right strategy. The thing is, Effort did do some of that as well in his match, right? He was kind of blind countering the metagame, and it worked out well. But Effort's too smart to continue that, I think. especially after you saw the build that SOS used on Deadwing.
Don't you think he could do it in game number 1, though?
Maybe. That's the thing.
It's that dangerous doing it in game number 1.
If you're a step ahead of your opponent,
and then
you're going to be in a great spot.
You could switch out of it in game number 2. I mean, think about it. If Protoss, if Zerg doesn't do that quick pull and SOS tries to blind counter it, and it's something different, SOS is in a very difficult spot, especially against somebody like Effort. Okay, we're almost ready to start this game. And by almost ready, I mean we are ready.
All right, Tasteless. What was the map here?
Merry-go-round.
Of course, yes. This map can be kind of hard to hold a third base as Protoss, so Effort's going to be looking for some sort of cheesy 2-base all-in. He's really got to identify as quickly as possible whether or not SOS is going for that, which I think is quite likely.
The loser does pick the next map, and it's interesting to have a group like this starting out in Code S.
Well, this is like one of the groups that have
heavyweight from StarCraft 1 and a heavyweight here from StarCraft 2.
Yep.
And that match is now ready. We do apologize for the delays. Down here in the bottom center, we have our Zerg player from Brood War. He is
CJN2's Effort.
And here in the upper left are Protoss.
Gina Greenwings SOS.
Yeah, also technically from Brood War. He was a pro in Brood War known as Shy.
Yep,
but
not as established.
No, like these two guys had different universes of skill. Like you wouldn't ever say their names
Look,
in
it's
the same
Artosis
sentence.
on the left and me on the right.
I do kind of look like a bird. People tell me that a lot.
There's nothing wrong with looking like a bird.
No.
I always thought you looked like a llama that was worried that other people might notice he's a llama.
That was so funny.
So funny. Sometimes Twitch chat, man, is so hilarious.
Sometimes. And look at this, Tasteless. It looks like he's going for a really quick speed. That is a 13 gas 12 pull.
Wow.
That is very, very fast. And the funny thing is we saw him do something very similar to this in one of these previous games, but he only made those 8 speedlings and actually didn't try to all in on the Nexus or anything, just tried to out-micro his opponent and get some stuff done. And it ended up working out for him because he transitioned into a macro game really, really well. And that map was Catalina. Merry-go-round is actually kind of a smaller map than that. So will this be more effective, less effective? We're going to have to see how he plays it.
Well, I was going to say, let's see which way the probe goes, but we see the probe is now going to go to the bottom center. So not the element of surprise that I'm sure Effort would have preferred to have.
Yeah.
But
and
the 4 links have already been started. There should be another. Oh no, excuse me. He gets a queen next, and I guess he gets 2 more. Okay, there's the 6.
And he should be starting his speed and just saying it. There it is. And he's stopped mining gas. So the probe sees everything that's going on. He understands the situation at hand. And we'll see how he wants to go about defending it. Like Classic, for instance, against this, stayed on 1 gas, which I actually kind of liked because he got more Zealots out that way. We see SOS not canceling his 2nd gas, which doesn't get you back that many minerals, so maybe that's a smart move. We'll see.
Yeah, this is going to be a game we'll all be learning a lot from here. It was really in Brood War where the pool first builds with speed became much, much, much more popular.
Yeah.
There was a lot of different ways to play it. And it wasn't as popular throughout all of StarCraft II, but it's definitely on the rise again here.
It
here
looks
come
like
those lings. And he does have 1 to chase that probe, so the probe can't make something to block the expansion, for instance, that's going to be planted down here. So he has the 5 lings in the main. Remember, that was 5, right?
I believe you're right on that.
Yeah, that's 5. Okay.
He has more lings on the way, of course. He has 14 lings. He's actually playing this differently than he did the other time that he did a build similar to this.
Oh my god, that's a nice surround there by those lings, but he does back up. Now, these probes are not mining, and this is a smart move. Pull the rest of these lings up here.
Yeah, and 5 probes not mining, Tasteless, that's a big deal because the difference is 8 miners. So to have 5 not mining, then 3 on gas, their mineral income is very similar at the moment.
Okay, he's got more links coming up here. Now, again, a guy that's played Brood War for as long as Effort, he's going to be so good with moments like this. Because what you're seeing here is super typical in Brood War. Harass like this. It happened all the time.
Yeah, and you can see he's doing it really well. He's pulling back the lings. He's not losing anything at the moment. He is going to lose a few here. trying to put a lot of damage on.
I think he's going to go for the Nexus. I think he actually just kills the Nexus here.
He will kill it, too. This is a dead Nexus.
And losing the Nexus here is really bad. Wow.
Oh.
I really thought he was going to just commit.
I thought so, too, because he had the more lings coming. Oh, I guess that's what he was doing, was waiting for more lings. And actually, going up right now, trying to deal with these probes.
I got to say, this is not an easy decision here for the Zerg to make. I think a lot of people would have gone for the Nexus here. Let's see if this actually pays off.
Well, he's killed quite
down.
a few probes. But he doesn't, I mean, he doesn't end up getting the Nexus, but he's come down to 20 probes, which I guess
He's still
is
making lings, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not ending.
This is
now
pretty all-inning.
Yeah, you know, God, I really thought he was going to go for the Nexus, man.
Well, killing probes can be really good as well. And now he's got 2 groups of speedlings around trying to do some harassment, but oh, he's going to get that Stalker. That's what he wants to get. Beautiful move here by Effort. And we actually have a little bit of in-game lag. If I was Effort or SOS, I'd be a little bit pensive about microing in this, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. Really weird, actually. We have some in-game lag here.
Looks like it's gone now.
Come around. And they are getting these Zealots, doing a really good job. The Sentry is actually almost dead now.
Oh.
If SOS survives this, he's actually substantially ahead in probes, but
yeah.
The question is, it is a big if underlined there on surviving.
Well,
the Zealot goes down.
He's killed basically every unit now.
No Nexus cannon. And soon to be no Nexus. Okay, so he gets the Nexus. Now, I believe there was almost nothing in the main, right? Just a Sentry?
Yeah, it's very little, so he had to pull a lot of probes down here, and he's got so many probes there, suddenly their economy going back to equal or even less.
This is what a Brood War pro gamer looks like when you give him Zerglings with speed against the Protoss. I mean, every other Zerg would have probably backed off, but not Effort. Effort's like, no.
They would have backed off.
You just kill him. You just kill him like this. There's no need to go any further. My micro's too good.
The micro plus multitasking that he was showing there was just better than most times that we see. We do see people do speedling all-ins like this, but they don't back it up with the micro, the intelligence, and the multitasking that Effort just showed us.
Yeah. Nicely done there by Effort. Now the question is, does SOS now go for a gate burst with a core? Does he do what he did against Shine? Does he play that defensive game? Because Effort could just as easily switch sides here and go for a macro game.
His mechanics are insane. He can absolutely go for a macro game if he wants to.
Let's see what map SOS picks here.
You think he'll go Deadwing?
I don't know. It's really hard to say. It depends a lot because he might pick a certain map that might just tell Effort, oh, you want to go one base on this map? Okay.
Huh.
You could also go for a map where one base is just terrible. The next game, Effort could. So, I mean, there's a lot of different variables to keep in mind. And also, it's really down to, it's almost like who's the better poker player, who's going to be better at bluffing.
That's true.
Here.
That's true. And the map picking can come into play there. You pick a certain map that isn't what they expected exactly, that's going to make them think a certain thing that you can then abuse.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, let's say he chose well, I'm trying to think of like a scenario. I haven't really thought this out all the way, but like, you know, you choose a map that maybe is very good for rushing.
Yeah.
And then you just don't rush, something like that.
Yeah,
and you can abuse your opponent because he might be like, okay, I'll play a little bit more defensively, and then you just like play really greedy or something.
Okay, it looks like that game is almost ready to go. Effort SOS, the big question, what is the map? Deadwing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think we're going to see a lot of Protosses choose this map just because the third base is like pretty easy to get and keep, and then the fourth base is pretty free once you have 3 bases. So it's a good choice. We'll have to see what Effort does here.
Yeah, the real story here is the builds they pick at the start.
Yeah.
That's telling us a lot about how they're going to play. We've already seen that the Zergs have had a lot of success here with lane aggression early on since Nexus and the Gateway, not even one in at the entrance, is very popular.
Yeah. I wonder if Effort's going to be aggressive again, though. I'm suddenly thinking maybe he should back up like you were saying, and in Game 2 just play macro.